I know that the what I'm taking up against, what I'm going against in Africa is bigger than me.
Wow.
I know that there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of friction. There's going to be a lot of opposition to what I'm
Right.
trying to do.
Right.
However, I know too that if I get a fraction of what we want to do accomplished, then I can change the life of at least 1 million people.
Good people, man. What's up? What's good? I'm blessed to be your host, Caleb Smith. Today we have a very special guest in the building, man. Somebody who I've been admiring from afar. He's killing it in the podcast game, in the music industry. He's in Africa, being with people like SARS, Tim's killing the game. Here in Atlanta bred. He's a Bron fan, so you already know we got that synergy there. And bro, man, before we even press record any of that, he's talking to the finance guy. So JuJu McLean, how you feeling, my brother?
I'm doing well, man.
Cool.
Thank you for having me.
Bro, man, listen, I appreciate you, bro, for pulling up. Young black dude, man, killing the game. Just starting off, talking to the finance people. Talk to me about that. How's that with life of being at a United Masters right now, being a boss, like an actual real boss in the music game? How's that life of talking to finance people and always being busy? How's that?
I'm just expanding my portfolio right now. So I'm talking to finance guys, not necessarily it's for music, but it's not necessarily for UM. It's just I'm expanding my portfolio to a lot of different things. So just going, like we've been working on a couple deals.
Come on now.
So trying to get some stuff closed out.
All right. Hey, you got the real boss talk cooking up right now.
Yeah.
Bro, Africa, how was that whole trip? Being with SARS, all that good stuff. How was that?
So I've been to Africa a few times now. I think this last trip was probably the most, I guess, eye-opening one for me.
Yeah.
It was the one that meant the most to me. And I ain't even say like necessarily meant the most, but it was the one that like really showed me what my mission was. And I felt more connected this time because like we actually had something to come back and give. And we also understood, like, I seen what people needed.
Yeah.
And my thing is like anytime, especially entered into a market and you plan on doing business, you don't want to just necessarily go into a market and be like, oh, here, take, and then not give anything back. And I feel like we didn't go in and take anything. We went in and gave, like, wholeheartedly gave what we could. So this last trip was amazing. Like I got to explore a little bit more. I went to the beach. It's nothing like putting your feet in the
beach
African
in
sand.
Yeah, bro, that sounds amazing.
You feel connected to the homeland
for sure.
So that was dope. Went to a ton of parties, It's just good to see people like from around the world, the diaspora from around the world just come back.
Yeah.
Because when the diaspora comes back, it's just like, you're like, damn, we really are everywhere.
Come on.
Like we really are everywhere.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
So it was dope, man.
I love that.
I plan to spend a lot of time out there.
Yeah, I love that, bro. Man, on TikTok, I'll be scrolling and I'll probably seeing parties in Ghana at like 7 a.m. Is that true?
So I haven't been to Ghana yet.
Okay.
I haven't been to Ghana yet. That's on my next trip. Plan on going to Ghana. But yeah, like it's like that in Lagos. It's
That's
like
crazy.
You literally can walk inside and then it's like getting caught in a casino. You go inside of a club, it's like getting caught in a casino.
That's crazy.
You can't see the outside. So you go outside, you're like, oh, they out here serving breakfast. Or we've been at a beach party and we partied till the sun came up. And it's just like, it's just so dope because it's like, you don't even realize like time is not a thing. Like, so it's so funny. If you have Nigerian friends, there's a such thing as Nigerian time. Nigerian time is like a real thing.
Wow.
So like they're on time for all the business meetings. But when it comes to events, you can say an event starts at 5 and nobody's showing up till 9 p.m.
And they taking CP time to a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's called Nigerian time. But it's funny because I actually learned that it's a real thing. Like Nigerian time came from the 70s and 80s with the military.
Wow.
So people would have an event and the event would be based on what time the general would get there or what time the president would get there.
That's dope.
And so the event would start at 6 and the president wouldn't show up till 10.
Fashionably late.
So most times at an event in Nigeria, it's not going to start. You can expect 4 to 5 hour window of it starting.
Crazy.
So you just there hanging out. Yeah. And that's where you get a lot of conversation.
Yeah. JuJu, man, seeing you on the podcast, on your page, your platforms, you are a big proponent of Afro beats, right? Working with artists, dope artists. such as SARS. How do you feel about this current space of Afro beats right now during this current time?
I feel like now, and it's so dope. My homie Victor, who oversees Spotify for Africa, he did a TED talk, and his TED talk was on what is the importance of Afro beats. Well, and I can't even like. I want to go on record saying like I can't even call it Afro beats, right? So they really want it to be called Afro fusion,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So Afro beat, because Afro beat is its own real genre. Like it was created by Fela Kuti.
Wow.
So it's Afro beat without an S. On a global scale, it picked up the name Afro beats because it just made sense, and so people start calling Afro beats. But the true name is Afro fusion, right? Wow. So you look at what Victor spoke about, and that's what it really touched home for me. This is the chance for us to change the narrative of what Africa is, right? Because growing up, we had a narrative of you wake up, you watch BT,
and the arms and the angel playing.
Yeah, you got the arms and the angel, you got the flies, like, and it's like, come on, dog.
Yeah,
this is the propaganda you sold me to teach me, like, so you didn't want me to learn about where I was from, or you didn't want me to learn about the homeland,
right?
But then it's like when you get there, it's a totally different aspect. Like it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think now what Afrobeats is doing, or Afrofusion is doing, is giving the ability to change the narrative of what African music is, and the narrative of Africa, the picture of Africa.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, I'm excited when people say, yo, I'm going to Ghana, I'm going to Lagos for Christmas.
Come on.
Like you get the experience. Like this is the first time I stepped off a plane. Like I've been everywhere around the world.
Wow.
I stepped off the plane and I felt like I was at home.
That's crazy.
So it's like, that's not, I'm not trying to be cliche or anything, but that's literally how, like, when you get there, you're like, damn, y'all all like me.
Yeah.
Lagos is Atlanta with water, man.
Oh, I love that.
It's literally Atlanta.
Bro, that sounds like a dangerous place, man. Because if we had a beach, good God,
it's Atlanta with water, bro.
Come on.
It's Atlanta with water.
Man. Yes, bro. SARS, man. Talk to me about SARS. How is it working with him? Who is SARS? All that good stuff.
So SARS is maybe one of the most creative people I've ever met, right?
Wow.
So he's a producer. He's literally like the unforeseen mayor of Lagos, right? So everything, like everybody that's come up through the African space in music, for the last, I would say 10 to 15 years, have come through SARS.
Wow.
Like they've come through, like he has a thing called the SARS Academy. And he's one of the most creative and one of the most giving people I know, right? So with this academy, he brings in kids from all over Africa and just gives them the ability to create music and to express their creative expressions, right? So you have the likes of P Prime, who produced on Black Panther. You have Dooney. You have STG, who's the largest engineer. Wow. Dooney is one of the only female producers in Nigeria. Wow. Tim's, Lil J, WizKid, all these people have come through.
Titans, man.
Yeah, they've all come through the SARS Academy. So like, and it's like you get that feeling too. Like even when you're with them, like when I spent time with them over this last December, he like literally anybody who's in the music space, like they just respect his opinion so much. So it's funny, but we always look at him like, I call him like, yo, you like the Dr. Dre / Metro Boomin of African music, bro.
That's hard.
And he's like, he just laughs at him. I'm like, bro, like you really don't understand how much influence you have. So just working with him is like, it's crazy. Like, first of all, too, I've never seen anybody with more Sky Miles. Like, so, like literally, one day he's in Paris, next day he's in London, next day he's
international with it.
Yeah, like, but that's the beauty of it too. Like, you think about it, and this is so dope about Africa too. Well, I don't want to say it's dope. It's something that needs to be fixed, right? So Africa is one of the only places in the world where you have to have a visa to leave. Wow. So if you think about all the people that you're meeting, the Africans that you're meeting that have come from Africa, what you had to go through just to leave, you're like, bro, like you're resilient as hell. So it's a different level of respect that I just gained from that alone. Cause like we can get up and get a passport and we can skate to anywhere we want to go. Damn. Now you gotta get a visa to go certain places, but we can get up and book a flight and go. And it's like, that's not the reality for most people. So like literally when you have people like SARS who didn't go to college for music, who doesn't come from a super wealthy family, but you found a way to make it out and create other opportunities for other people. It's like, I have that much more respect for what you do. For sure. So like, yeah, for me, it's like now I have a different level of approach and different level of respect. Like I'm in the market and I'm in the market. Like, how can I help? How can I help build infrastructure? How can I help take this thing to the next level, instead of how a lot of people have gone there and like, oh, who can I sign? What can I do? That's never been my approach.
Bro, I respect that, man. And from working with people like SARS and Tim's and being international, everybody sees you on the podcast, of course. But man, young Juju in Atlanta, playing football
Yeah,
at Morehouse, bro. What was that whole time like? Football Juju, if you
that was a
will.
wild time.
Yeah.
That was a wild time because
Toting the rock, huh?
yeah, man,
Yeah.
I didn't know like what I wanted to, like I knew I wanted to work in music, but I didn't know at what capacity.
Mm.
So at that time, like I only got to play football for a year because I broke my ankle, and when I
Mhm.
broke my ankle, I was like, I went to a state of like depression. I'm like, yo, I got to figure this shit out.
I had a similar experience. I
Yeah.
feel you.
So it's
Yeah.
like that's the whole mental process, and it's
Mhm.
like shout out to HBCUs, but they didn't quite have the
You
proper,
ain't got no training staff like that.
not even necessarily
Okay.
training staff. You don't have like when you have an injury
Mhm.
and you're like, and this was your like your livelihood.
Mm.
It's like there's no psych evaluations. There's no like you don't go through a process
See what you're
of transitioning to, oh, you got to do everyday shit now.
Mm.
And it's like that by itself was enough. Like
Wow.
I went through like a wild dark phase where
Wow.
I was like, yo, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I don't know like why I'm still at school. Like,
Mm.
but I knew that like I always had a vision that I wanted to work in music in some capacity.
Yeah.
So that's when I started doing like I was definitely throwing parties. I was passing out flyers for Big Shine.
That's crazy.
Like I was just doing whatever I could do
Yeah.
just to be around it.
Wow.
And stuff just started. It started one thing happened after another.
Come on, man. So look, talk to me, man. How you go from passing out all the flyers to talking to the finance people before we get started with the interview, man? Hey, that's a big jump.
So it's so funny. I remember when it was Wiz Khalifa was big at the time. That's when phone numbers came out.
Was
Wiz,
this like 2011,
2010, 2011.
Yeah.
So I went into Morehouse in 2010, 2011 year. I broke my ankle at the 2011 season.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knew me as walking around campus with a big ass boot on. 'Cause I was lugging this fat ass boot around, and I'll be at the parties with a boot on.
Hey,
They be like, "How are you walking around?" I'm like, "Dog, like we get into it," because I refused to get surgery,
Wow.
and they were trying to get me to have surgery, and I was like, "Bro, I'm not going to do." They had to put a pin. I was like,
Oof.
"Nah.
Yeah.
We're gonna let this thing heal naturally.
Yeah.
I just won't play no more. I'm
Mm.
cool." So of course I'm on scholarship, so I got to figure that process out.
Yeah.
But at the time, I had literally went to what was that? A3C was here,
Mm.
and I went to a panel for, I believe BET was doing something for A3C that year,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to a panel and I met my friend Tola Lawal,
Mm.
and Tola, shout out Tola,
Yeah.
I met Tola and I told her I wanted to work in music,
Mm.
and I was like, I forgot what question I asked her, but she was like, yo, just talk to me after.
Wow.
It's like, all right, cool. Mind you, you know how you tell people to talk to you after.
Yeah.
Most people not gonna follow up.
Nah.
But I just told you I was going through this process. I was like, yo, I gotta figure this shit out.
Yeah.
So I went and talked to her, and I was like, yo, I really want to work in music. I really like
Mm.
I'm willing to do whatever.
Mhm.
I ain't tripping. Like, shit, I don't know how much longer I'm be in school, but we gonna
Mhm.
figure this out. Like,
Come on.
she was like, all right. So I got somebody I want you to meet. So she introduced me to Mike Brinkley, who
Mhm.
became my mentor.
Mhm.
Mike is the senior vice president of Rock Nation.
Wow.
So at the time, Mike was working with Big Shine. He was
Mhm.
working with that's before we got Days, but he was working with Big Shine, working with Sci-Hi,
Mm.
working with John Connor. So he was working with a lot of different people, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. Like, so at the time, Mike's office was up by Windy Hill.
Mm.
So if anybody know Windy Hill, that's the
Yep.
Battery.
Yep.
I'm going all the way from Morehouse to Windy Hill every single day.
You going from the West End all the way over there. Wow.
At the time, I didn't have a car.
Oh, wow.
So I would take literally, I would walk to West End train station. This is with a boot on. I would walk to West End train station, hop on the train, ride the train over to Art Center station,
Mm.
and then hop on that bus that Cobb County Transit and
Yeah.
ride Cobb County
That's what I was
Transit,
going to ask. Yeah.
and
you
then
gotta
walk a
take that.
mile from Cobb County Transit to the office.
Wow.
And I did that shit every single day.
Wow.
Like I didn't care, like rain, snow, sleet. I didn't give a damn. I was like, I'm
Man.
pulling up. I'm dead ass. Like if it was raining, I pulled up. So he was like, yo. Eventually he realized he's like, oh, this nigga's not gonna stop.
Mm.
So he would give me like little knick-knack jobs. Like he would be like, yo, organize the list of, at this time, this was blog era. He would
Mm.
give me a master list of blogs and was like, yo, contact everybody on here and see who's gonna get back, blah, blah, blah. He didn't think I would do it. I was literally hitting up people on the blogs and like just randomly DMing people, because at the time they would send out these PDFs
Mm.
and it'd be like 3,000 people that work at different blogs.
Man.
And it'd be like all these random ass blogs you never heard of. But the beauty of it was those blogs were like, those are a lot of artists' first publications.
Mhm.
So, of course, some of them didn't hit back, but I created like a little list. So people would hit me up because they knew that I could help their artists get on blogs. So that's how I would start making like little side money. I would help
Mm.
artists get on blogs.
Wow.
Or so I was doing like the early stage. That's the early stage of digital marketing. That was
Yeah.
before it became like a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, doing that. And then like passing out flyers for Big Shine. Boost Mobile had did a Boost Mobile was really big at the time.
Boost Mobile, yeah, I forgot about that.
So they were doing a college campaign, and Big Sean and Wale were doing a free show on Clark's campus. So they were like, "Yo, we need somebody to pass out these flyers. We'll pay you to do it.
Say less.
Sign me up."
Come
so
on.
passing out flyers turned into me actually having tickets to the show too. So I was giving people knew me as a ticket guy.
Wow.
So of course from that, then I said I was throwing parties. So as I was throwing parties, one of my partners at the time, Maui, we had got the chance to do the weekend's first show here at the Fox Theater. So they gave us tickets for that shit too.
Wow.
So we were selling tickets, and this time like only a few people really knew who the Weeknd was. Yep. But we became a ticket plug for it.
That's crazy.
So folks started tapping in for us with that. So fast forward now, I'm jumping a little ahead in the schedule, but fast forward, I was at a festival and I seen these headphones. I went to a silent party and seen these headphones.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, this shit is fire.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I gotta get into this business. Mind you, I was in Atlanta. I hadn't seen it at the time. So I was like, I gotta get into this business. So at the time, one of my partners, Shannon, he was like, yo, I'm actually investing in these headphones. You can come into business with me. You just take over the Atlanta market and you start building your markets out. I was like, all right, cool. So I started running the silent headphone parties in Atlanta. So I started the parties, and then I went from me doing Atlanta to me doing Nashville.
That's hard.
Then I started doing Orlando. Then I started doing St. Louis. So I was running all these silent parties. So mind you, in Atlanta alone, I was doing four parties a month in different, and I was strategic how I placed it because I put it in different markets. And I had partnered with a couple of my homies that I was throwing parties with initially. So I started doing silent parties. I ran silent parties for 2.5 years. In 2.5 years, I had built a database of like 270,000 people.
I remember, hearing you say
I built a database of like 270,000.
Yeah.
Mind you, I didn't understand the power of what I built.
Yeah.
But it was like people were like legit understood. Like they were like, yo, you have these wild ass parties. And I'm talking about literally from Earth Gang coming to Premier Records to us partnering with Nick Grant to partnering with Epic to like labels will literally send their new artists so they can hear because they realized we had fan bases. Well, we were building niche fan bases. Like I would do one on Edgewood, then I would do one at Halo. Halo was like my upscale for like if you the working person. Yeah. But then my hipsters were over on Edgewood with me at Black Cat. Then I would do like a brunch. I would do the silent party brunch.
That's hard.
So like it was just like we just started building. So all that, like I say all that to say, like literally all that has played into where I am now because like I've built a network of people like just knowing that I'm always been around some cool stuff.
Yeah. But
that I always to understand how to like elevate business.
Come on now.
So that led me into shit. I'm jumping way my first time going into a building, I took over. Prior to that, I was managing artists and producers as well. So I started working with Young Chop. I started working with Danny Wolf and built Danny Wolf's brand from the Pablo Juan stuff to Juice WRLD to Lil Tecca, Fago, Uzi. Like we probably had 15 plus plaques together. We built Chaos Club. So from Chaos Club, we went and got a label deal with Orchard. Really, really great situation. Yeah. And then from there, I just transitioned into, I took my first like label, quote unquote label job. I was the president of Icons and Giants, which was a label through ADA. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to see like, you can always build something on your own, but it's different when you get to go into somebody else's thing and see how the wheels turn. That's right. So that's when I like, prior to that, like I said, like I left Morehouse. I had left school. So my education was in real world experience. So if I never had the real world experience, like I had a label deal before I had the real world experience. Wow. I knew how to manage artists because I did several label deals. I did publishing deals, but to run a label was a whole different beast. Yeah. So when I went to the job as president, I started learning what KPIs were. I started learning like how to like really move the meter, like how to build the business. So that I did that for about a year. And I was like, this is not really the trajectory I see myself, or what I want to do. Like, this is like, shout out to Icons and Giants, but it wasn't just the situation that I wanted. Yeah. So from that, United Masters hit me up. My homie Dave hit me. He was like, yo, you're a producer guru.
That's dope.
He's like, man, I know what you got going on. Yeah. He's like, yo, we were building this thing out. I think you could be the perfect person to build it. So they brought me over in 2021, like smack down the pandemic. Wow. They're like, yo, you don't have to move to New York. You don't like, we want you to build the shit from the crib.
That's
I was like,
amazing, man.
Yeah, I was like, Okay, I get paid to bill for the crib, and I get insurance, and I get benefits. Say less.
I got a real career, bro.
Yeah,
come on, bro.
So I went over there in August. I went over there in August of 2021, and we were prepared to launch by December of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time we were ready to launch, I had already put on 11,000 producers on platform.
Wow.
So they were like, "Hold on, how the?" I was like, "Bro, like I have a network of producers. I've been working with producers at this time for 5-6 years.
Wow.
So we went to market with 11,000 producers. To date, now we are about 150,000 producers, 150,000 producers, maybe 200,000-300,000 beats on the platform.
Man.
But that transitioned me into like, they were like, yo, like you have much more value than just working with producers. Like, you still want to do the A&R stuff? I was like, absolutely. Like that's my bread and butter. People knew me as JuJu the A&R. Like I've been doing A&R work since 2012. So he was like, all right, cool. Come on to the A&R side. So I went over and they were like, yo, we're going to make you the director of A&R because you know what the fuck you're doing. And they made me director of A&R last year. And since then, like I've been rocking and rolling.
JuJu is him. It's okay to say that, bro. You already know
I just stay, bro. I keep it, you know.
He's like, y'all just try. You know, they walk around, just try.
I'm just trying, you know.
Nah, I feel you, bro. A&R, that's like this cool title, you know, growing up. Martin in the 90s, they would have like certain, you know, episodes where like an A&R would show up and everybody trying to show up and show out. But what does that average day-to-day life look like for a typical A&R in the business?
So the reality is there's 3 different types of A&Rs, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the A&R that's actually really invested in the music. Then you have the A&R that's invested in the music, but it's also the outside A&R. Mm-hmm. And then you have the analytics A&R, right?
Got you.
I am the mixture of the outside and the invested in the music A&R, right? And the reason I say outside and invested in music, I have to be outside to know what's going on.
That's right.
But I also have to be like, my network is the reason I'm able to put together the records I put together. Like the reason I was able to get Gunna on the SARS record is because of my network. I play golf with his videographer. So like that wouldn't happen if I'm not outside. So I think the day in life is different, but it's like you have to make it it's what you make it, right? Because you can be a really good analytics A&R, but all that's going to do is you're going to keep getting the same, like you're going to get stuff that's going to keep the lights on.
That's right.
I don't know if you're necessarily going to be able to build a long-standing career from that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because like all it is you're finding spikes in different charts, and you're like, oh, this person's dope. And it's like, are you really invested in the career of that person? Right? Whereas if you're outside and invested into the music A&R, it's like you get the chance to sit down and you're working through like, okay, what's the concept of this project? You're working through from the ideas of the videos to the tone of the music to even down to damn near what the BPM is in, or like literally paying attention to all the finite details. So I mean, the day in life changes drastically. Like it depends on who you have on your roster. So like my roster consists of people in Africa, but also artists here. So like
I'm be like real versatile with it.
Yeah, like so like I'm literally like I can go from 1 minute from talking about a record with Fireboy to now I'm talking about a record with Gunna.
That's crazy.
Or talk about a record with Moneybagg. Yeah. Like so like it's just the versatility of it. And I think to be a good A&R now, you just have to be versatile. Yeah. Because everything is changing so much. And I think, and this goes back to the initial question you asked about Afrobeats, Afrofusion, like it's becoming the new pop music. Like it is the new pop music.
Yeah, I agree.
And the reason I say that is like, the music can actually cross over into so many spaces. Like Bad Bunny was on a record with Burner.
That's crazy.
Like you couldn't tell the difference. Popcorn did a record on Burna Boy's album, and it's like, the synergy was like, you couldn't tell if it was a reggae record or like, it's seamless. So like, you think about popular music around the world, like that's why Burna can go do the O2 or DeVito can do the O2, because the music is so like, you can literally touch any fan base and it's synonymous.
Yo, Chris Brown, right?
Chris Brown, shit, Mona Lisa produced.
Bro, that's hard.
That's Lil J and SARS. That's Lil J, but literally that shows you like how popular the music is.
For sure.
So I think now, like being an A&R now, you have to be versatile. Yeah. You have to be able to open your palette up. Like I talk to my A&Rs all the time, like, yo, investing in your palette, like literally listening to everything. Don't like. I know everybody's gonna have a favorite genre or have a favorite style of music they listen to, but you gotta listen to everything. Yeah. Because if you're not, you'll miss out.
Yeah. JuJu, man, you dropped a major bar. You were playing golf and you brokered a deal. Growing up, old heads, man, they will always tell me, hey, Caleb, you need to learn how to play golf because this is where all the business deals happen. And, bro, you just proved that. So, man, playing golf, like, how did you learn how to play golf? What's that whole experience been like? If I'm not mistaken, it came from torn ACL, correct?
So I learned how to play prior to that.
Mm.
So I learned how to play golf. My uncle used to take me to, my uncle was part of this golf club called BDT, right?
Okay.
BDT is like a bunch of black entrepreneurs and businessmen in Atlanta, right? And it's a group of like 40, 50 guys that literally would go out to different golf clubs and play.
Yeah.
So he used to invite us when I was like 14, 15. And 14, 15, you just want to drive the golf cart. You like, I don't give a fuck about playing golf. I just want to drive the golf cart.
Yeah.
So me and my cousin be out there knuckleheads driving the golf cart and swing every once in a while.
For sure.
So then when I hit like 17, 18, he would invite us. We kept inviting us, and we actually started liking it.
Mm.
But then when I went to college, I didn't really like care about it that much. I was like, yeah, like I didn't have like, you broke college student, so you really weren't thinking about going to play golf.
Yeah.
But then I was just like, nah, it just wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
So during the pandemic, I picked up my uncle. I went to North Carolina, and my uncle was like, yo, here's these, you can have my old clubs.
Wow.
It's like, all right, cool. So the whole pandemic, I'm swinging my clubs. I'm like, yo, I really actually love this shit. This shit, I could be like, I'm not doing anything competitively right now. Like I'm not going to hoop or nothing. Like we will hoop every once in a while.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, like, I don't feel like I can get hurt doing this shit.
Bro, I'm with you, man.
So
we ain't got time for that no more.
I would literally be swinging. I would be swinging my clubs, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna really dive into this. So I started driving range during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then 2022, like we picked it up heavy. Like I was playing, literally, it was bad. I was playing every single day. I would find a way to go play every single day. I would, whether it be the driving range or going to actually play around, and we would play every single day. But then on 404 day, I tore my ACL.
Whew.
So when I tore my ACL, I literally was like, I was like, damn, I can't go play golf. And the only thing I was asking my physical therapist and the dude who did surgery, Dr. Hammond, I was like, yo, am I gonna be able to play golf? He was like, it's gonna take a while for you to swing.
Yeah.
He's like, but he said you could be all right.
Good.
So I couldn't play golf for like 6 months. So after I got through that phase, 2023, we played heavy. So like
ready.
So now I got a group of homies that just start, they like playing. It's like six of us, seven of us that just go out, and we just like random weekends, like during the summer we played. I played so much golf during the summer.
That's dope.
So like, yeah, I think it's one of the things, I'm super competitive.
Yeah.
So it's one of the things that you can actually be really competitive with, but you don't necessarily gotta be competitive with your homies. You be competitive with yourself.
I like that.
So like, it's so funny because Dave was laughing at me, but I was like, yo, golf is literally the closest thing I could compare to life. Because literally it's 18 holes, and you're gonna fuck up on like 2 or 3 of those holes. Like you're gonna royally, like when I say it's gonna be bad, and you gotta either let that, you sit on that and dwell on it and move on and not move on, or you're gonna let bygones be bygones and go to the next hole and play better than you played the last one, and try to catch up. So it's like the same thing in life. Like if you sit there and you dwell on shit that happened yesterday or something that you can't even control, it's like, all right, you're not gonna progress in life because you literally sat there and you're allowing things that outside
still dwelling on past things.
Exactly. So so that's one of the reasons. Like now, like I'm fully invested in golf. Like that's,
come on, bro.
Like shout out to Elijah on Eastside Golf. Like
yes,
bro, I play heavy.
Yo, I love that, man. Look, 2024, I'm gonna try to start playing. So I'm gonna probably try to hit you up for some golf lessons, man. Because I'm gonna probably be trash.
I don't know about no lessons. I ain't. My
like,
swing changes. Like that's one of the things too. Like golf is one of those things where you have to be really like it's consistency. It's consistency. Like you literally
sounds like life. To your point,
it is.
You gotta be consistent.
It is because you can literally like when I tore my ACL, I forgot how to swing.
Wow.
Like because your whole swing changes.
You got to relearn that.
So I had to relearn my whole swing again. So I was swinging like Charles Barkley for a second. I looked crazy, but now like over time, like I've gotten much better with my now my mechanics are better. Like this just now it also slows you down. Golf slows you. It makes you slow down. It makes you like, okay, focus on this.
Peaceful probably too.
Because
it's quiet.
First of all, golf courses might be some of the most beautiful places in the world.
Yeah.
If you actually take the time to sit back, like the scenery and what's going on the golf course, like you'd be like, nigga, is that an alligator? Is that a flamingo?
It's just got nature everywhere.
It got nature. It's like, bro, like it'll take you some of the most beautiful places too. Like I'm going to Steve Harvey's foundation this year.
Nice.
My homie Tabiti puts that together, so I'm gonna go check that out and AUA, the UAE.
Yo, you ain't playing, man.
Nah, I'm definitely
stop hooping. Start playing golf.
Yeah,
man.
that hooping, bro. I can't. At this big age, bro, a turned ankle is that's a 3-week process. Bro. Yeah,
I feel you, man. The Third Door. What impact did reading that book have on your life and personal development and things of that sort?
So with the Third Door, I think it goes back to even like the decisions I made back in, like I've always applied the Third Door without even knowing that I've applied it before I read it, right? So you think about the decisions I made in college. Like I would go, like I only experienced one spring break. My first spring break was my freshman year. And that's because I was like, yo, like football, was not playing football anymore.
Yeah.
I had got a refund check. I was like, I'm gonna go experience spring break. But that was the only time I did it. Every year after that, I would spend my spring breaks going to South by Southwest.
Wow.
Or going to like I would take my refund check and literally apply it to that.
It's very mature of you, man.
It wasn't even about maturity. It's because I knew I wanted to work in the music business. And still, like, just because I'm going south, I didn't mean I wasn't going to party. I still was going to party, but I was going to party with a purpose.
Responsibly.
Yeah, responsibly. So party, but it's different when you party with a purpose, right?
Come on.
So you talk about the Third Door. The Third Door is literally like, if you don't go through the front door, you don't go through the back door, there's still another opportunity for you to get there.
Come on.
Right? So there's stories where I was like, we done finessed to get into Fatal Fort. Wow. Didn't know anybody down there. Wow. And like, I'm like, yo, mind you, Fatal Fort, this time, Fatal Fort was like the big shit. And they're like, who are you with? I'm like, shit, I'm with this guy. Oh, I'm looking for the first face I see in Atlanta and a familiar face and just good energy. They like, oh, that's my dog. He good. So like, just applying it that way of saying like, don't ever take no as the answer. Like there's still another opportunity. Like you done made it halfway. Like at this point, Texas is 11 hours. We were driving at this time, so we broke.
You already made
that's 11. That's a 13-hour drive. I've made it 13 hours. We gonna figure out how we
gonna make it 26.
Yeah, we gonna finesse. We gonna finesse something in here. So the Third Door is literally like, it's so funny because the Atlanta version of it would be the finesse. It's literally like find a way to make one. It's the Clark motto. Find a way to make one.
Panthers, not for sure.
So I think like with the Third Door, like it's all it does is it reiterates like just my approach to life. Like always find a way. Like don't make an excuse for why you can't do it, and find a way to get it done. Yes, and then if you can't get it done right now, it just might not be the time for you to do it.
Yeah.
And I like that's one of the things that I've golf has helped me with a lot is patience, right? And understanding my timing. Like who's to say like in my mind I should have been an A&R a long time ago. I should have been a director at a company a long time ago.
Yeah.
But the reality is, were you ready for the opportunity, or were you ready for where you are now? Because like now, I'm more than a director. I've helped build the label business, and it's like those opportunities. Like it's like okay, you took your time.
Stronger too now,
and I'm much stronger.
Battle tested, all those things.
Man, what?
Come on.
Ford tough.
Come on,
Ford tough out here, man.
That's how you lie.
So it's like, nah, that's one of them. That was a great read for me, and I'm in this thing now where I'm like, last year I did 32 books.
Oh, word.
This year I'm shooting for 52.
Come on now.
I need one a week.
Y'all, you like Cat Williams, bro. You on your 3,000? What Cat say? I read a 3,000.
I don't know if he read on 3,000. 3,000 books is crazy. Them shits had to be like 50 pages.
The Dr. Seuss book.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because like there's no like, bro, I'm telling you, I'm reading, like I started the Obama book, bro. That shit long as hell. I was like, Lord.
My man reading the Bible.
Yeah, I'm on my second book this year so far. Like, well, technically, so I'm bad at it too. Yeah. So what I'll do, and this is what I'm trying to fix.
Probably like start and stop.
I would literally start a book, and then I start reading. I find something else that I like, and I start reading that, and I'll go back and forth in doing it. But then I start mixing my stories together, and I'm like, I gotta stop doing that. So I've literally like I just finished. I completely finished. What did I just finish? I'm reading Start With Why right now.
Okay.
So I have about 50 pages left to Start With Why. I just read. What did I just read? Hold on, I gotta pull this up.
You good. Hey, he got actual receipts, y'all. So
yeah,
you already know. It's no cap in this rap.
I just did Start With Winning. Tim Grover.
Yeah.
So I just finished Winning.
Yep.
Winning was crazy too.
Okay.
Winning was a great book.
Kobe stories, Mike
stories. Shit. It's just the idea of not quitting. Like literally, there's a certain mentality you have to win.
You have to.
And it's like there's also a certain level of, and when I say mentality, it's not even just about your tenacity with doing something. It's a mentality you got to have with just your approach with life. Like,
that's right.
You got to understand, if you want to win, it doesn't matter if your family agrees with how you win.
You got to want it.
You got to want it.
Come on, bro.
And you got to be able to walk in your own purpose.
That's right.
So like, for me, like that shit hit home because like my family didn't agree with my mom. Was like, "You're leaving Morehouse. You're going on tour. What the fuck is a tour?"
She ain't saying that no more now.
Nah, now she got that first plaque. She said, "Oh, this what you do?"
Yeah.
Oh, you got you got nominated for a Grammy?
Juju's
This
probably
what I
like,
do?
talk to me nice, mom.
Yeah, it's like
for sure.
that plaque took place for that diploma on the wall. It
Come
took
on
a
now,
different,
bro.
like it's a different
Means
approach. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
But Morehouse, I still need that honorary degree.
Yeah, come on now. You're gonna be Dr. Juju.
Yeah,
give
come
him
on.
that
I need
honorary
that.
doctorate.
I need that.
Come on, bro.
I need that.
I feel you, man. Beauty in the struggle, right?
Mhm.
Talking about cold, man. Having a car get repoed, like lowest of the low. What did those moments feel like? And then now being standing in front of us today, taking care of business calls, talking to the biggest artists in the world. How does that feel now?
Bro, there's like your journey is your journey, right? And it's like literally you could think that the world is at like at your lowest fucking point. But I promise you that there's some beauty in how low you are because there's always like as low as you can go, it just shows you how much higher you can go, right? So like at those moments when I ain't have a place to live, when I didn't have a car to drive, when I literally was like, damn, I got $2 to make it to Friday and today's Monday.
Sheesh.
So we got to figure it out to where it's like, you know how low it is when you got to call your little sister to ask for money.
Wow.
She's 5 years younger than you. Got to call her to ask for money. That shit, like you really feel like you at your lowest. But the reality
As
is,
a man
like,
too, I can only.
Oh
imagine.
man, But I think even in those moments, I lost pride. Like that's when I removed pride from everything I was doing because I was like, it's bigger than me.
It was a lesson in that.
It was because
Yeah.
the first time you asked, you like, man, I don't want to do this shit, man. God, there's no way I gotta ask my little sister for $15, $20. Like, and it's like these are petty amounts. You're like, bro, $15, $20, but you like, nah. Like, if you really need it, it's like, okay, who's in your corner? And then at those moments, you find out who's in your corner. But then they also like, it was a wild turning point in family dynamics too, right? Because you see people who are like, I believe in you. So whatever you like I know that who you are and what you've done, I know that you're not gonna do no bullshit.
I see that potential.
Yeah. So like at those moments is when moments I'm like, okay, cool. Like those built me to the person. I'm like, yo, like I can't let that person down. Like I don't know that they had $25 and they sent me 20. Like so like in those moments you're like, bro, I can't like. Who would I be to be like, nah, fuck your blessing. Yeah. So. Nah, it's always beauty in the struggle, man. Like I live by that quote. Like literally, like even with artists, like I hate to see artists just get it like that. It's like, nah, bro, you got to experience like the Roach Motel.
You got to get molded.
Yeah, you gotta experience like showing up to a radio station. They be like, who's that? Like you don't need to walk in and be like, oh, that's such a no. You need to be because those moments are humbling. That's right. Because now when they see you, they've seen your growth, but you also can realize like, yo, like I've done the work. And doing the work is like you can't cheat work. You can't, man. You can't cheat. Like literally, like I don't care how you fold it. You can never cheat the system of work.
Yeah, come on, Pastor Juju, man. You preaching right now.
That shit real, man.
Nah, listen, bro. I feel you. So, man, for all the young A&Rs and music execs, aspiring folks, what words of advice would you have for them that's tapped in right now and they probably only got $5 to their name?
Man, find side hustles. Yep. Find side hustles within the business because like just knowing how to be an A&R is like it's much more than just knowing music and knowing people. Yeah, like you have to be well versed in this. Like learn how to be a project manager. Learn, and when I say be a project manager, learn how to leverage your relationships to help give artists other relationships. Yeah. Learn admin. I say that funnily, but I hate admin. I personally hate admin just because like it's just not like. I'm not gonna say that. That's
tedious, right?
Yeah, it's tedious. It's tedious, but it's also like I feel like for me personally, like I just don't like. I know how to do it, but I'm so like my mind is racing doing other things. So when it's time to do like admin work, I'm like, bro, like really.
I could be doing 10 other things.
Right? Yeah, I could be doing 10 other things that are much more valuable to you. I feel you. But you want me to do this. Yeah. And it's like, all right.
I respect that more.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I got you. It's like, I got you.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't ask Kobe Bryant to set picks.
Not even a pass, really, either.
You just tell him, go, hey, I need you to show up to the game and do this.
Kill him, Kobe. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, I'll do it. Yeah. But I'm telling you now, like, getting into the business, like, learning admin is very important. Yeah. Leveraging your relationships. Yeah. Like really like when I say leveraging your relationships, like really like tap in with people and see how you can add value to what they're doing. Cause you'll be surprised. Like you can say, yeah, like you can actually be a music supervisor. You can go be you can go work in TV. You can go like there's so many different things you can do.
Yeah.
And still be an A&R that it's the business. There's no set way of doing it.
Yeah.
So I just tell you, just keep hustling. Keep hustling. Really leverage your relationships. Learn where the money's being made.
Yeah.
Because if you always around where the money's being made, you're gonna find a job.
You're gonna get a piece of that.
Yeah, because there's always jobs around where money's coming in. So that's publishing, that's sync, there's so many different places in that.
Yeah.
So that's what
Man, seeing you, bro, again, I'm like super, super inspired from seeing how people love you, respect you, relationships, right? Nurturing those, cultivating those. We're in this current space in Atlanta where certain people, they can be fanboyish and going too crazy around certain artists. So like, how should you carry oneself around artists that you're trying to meet, introduce yourself, but not be somewhat too thirsty in that same breath?
Man, artists are all people, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the part where it's like just explaining that to. It's so funny, cause I remember I was dating this girl, and I tell this story all the time.
Yeah, I think I heard that story.
I tell the story all the time. I was dating this girl, and I took it to. I was playing in like an influencer basketball game, and Fab walked in, and she just fanned the fuck out for Fab, and I was like,
that's kind of crazy. Like, no disrespect to Fab at all.
Oh, it was wild. I like, nigga, you think it's crazy?
Yo, I love
So
Fab.
imagine how I felt.
Bruh, listen.
Like, this is supposed to be my shorty.
Bro, Loso's Way in the 6th grade, that was one of my favorite albums.
Bro,
I wouldn't be going crazy.
Bro, this is my shorty.
Yeah, bro.
And she's like, oh my gosh, gotta get a picture. I was like, if you gonna do that for Fab,
dang.
I can only imagine what you're gonna do around Jay-Z or Beyonce.
Even Drake.
Or Drake.
Yeah, Drake. It's really
like,
gonna be
now I done lost my girl. Now I'm the theme of a Drake song. So it's like,
it's gonna be like Drewski, man.
Yeah, bro. Like literally, like these artists though, like artists are people too though.
That's
like,
right.
And they like the reality is they want to have just as much fun and want to do like live life.
Privacy sometimes.
Yeah.
They just want to be in the cut with everybody
so
else.
So you just kick it, be cool. Like literally be cool because there's nothing like.
And not trying to post pictures, talk about we working.
Bro, I literally, it's so funny because I hate really taking pictures with artists. You know the only reason I took a picture with Tim's?
Why was that?
Because my homie Dave from Dave like he loves Tim's.
Oh wow!
And I was like, Dave couldn't go out with us that night.
Rub it in his face.
Yeah, he couldn't go out with us that night. So I said, oh yeah, like literally, I was the only person she took a picture with.
Wow.
Like she was like, yo, like, but she was like, yo, Juju, I got you. And I was like, I don't really need to take a picture. She was
flex,
like,
by the way, too,
yeah, she was like, I was like, I don't really need to take a picture. She's like, no, I got you. So we took the picture. Like literally, they stopped the whole crowd. We took the picture and everybody dipped.
Hey, that's hard.
So I was like, yo, Dave, I had to rub it in his face, like, yo, Dave, look who I'm with. And he was like, you asshole. So like, but when it comes to taking pictures, like if you notice most of the pictures I take with artists, it's like somebody done caught us with a candid picture. It's not necessarily me like, yo, can I take a picture with you, bro? Because like the reality is like, it's almost like you going to somebody's family, going to your crib. And I'm like, can I take a picture with you?
Yeah.
Can I take a picture
I'm just trying to enjoy this food right now.
Yeah, it's like, come on, dog. I just want to relax. Like
be normal.
Be normal.
Yeah. I love that, bro.
So it's just that. It's literally just treat them like you would treat any other person that you make a friend.
Yeah. Y'all, please don't be thirsty out there, man. What separates from all the other labels, distro companies, and things of that sort?
I think from our team, like our team is fire. We probably have one of the most fire teams in the business. Like literally, it's everybody comes from different walks, different backgrounds. So I think our team, but also just our approach. Like we have a very, very hands-on approach to how we are building and curating the business. Like I said, like I've been an A&R on the A&R side for a year, but I've been helping build the music business and the label business for the last 2 years.
Right.
So like we have a very hands-on approach to how we build stuff, and I'm very hands-on too with our artists. Like even if it's an artist that's not signed to me, like they are all my friends. Like they come to Atlanta, they hit me up to come hang out with Juju.
Yeah.
So it's like we have a very like it's a big family. It's a big family, but it's also like we do a lot of cool shit. Like we have one of our humble flexes is that we have Translation.
Wow.
Translation is the #1 ad agency in the world. Wow. So like when you think about the partners that we have, it's like you could have another label, have another distro, but they don't have AT&T, they don't have State Farm, they don't have NBA, they don't have NFL.
Juju, he's still going.
Yeah, like they just don't have those things. And it's like it's not even funny, but those are things, pieces that you can leverage and say, look, we're doing like bro, like we just created a helmet for AT&T, a football helmet for AT&T.
That's hard.
That's fire.
Yeah.
And we were able to put our artists, like a girl who was just on our platform, who was on our platform distributing. We realized she was hearing impaired. And we put her music on there, and now that's the biggest record she's ever had.
Wow.
And it's also like it's nominated for a hell of awards. But it's like we changed her life. So it's like those moments are the moments that you are like, yo, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I can have those moments right now anywhere else. And I don't think like artists like, and it's, we always get but y'all don't do this for everybody. It's like we do. But the reality is we have 2 million people that are distributing on our platform. Wow. We have 300 people that are on a 80-20 tier. We have 30 artists that are signed exclusively. It's like stand above the crowd. Be able to stand up above the crowd. That's right. Because like the brands, we're still gonna keep working with brands, but now understand who you are as an artist, understand your brand, so you can get parts of what we got going on.
Now. Yeah. Because
one thing, and I have to say this, one thing that always happens, an artist is like, somebody's like, oh well, AT&T should do this. It's like, bro, you're telling a multi-billion-dollar company that they should do this, and they've already projected and planned what they're going to do for the next 6 quarters.
Yeah, they already made the
But
budget.
you've already created, in your mind, you created a whole idea of what they should be doing. Wow. It's like, dog, no. Just look at the plans that they have and find your piece of that pie in that plan.
Optimize that.
Exactly.
I feel that, bro.
Exactly.
Okay, man. So oftentimes, right, you'll see artists talk about horror stories about getting played and producers, but A&Rs, how should a A&R go about in avoiding being played? How do you even try to get paid as somebody in that profession as well?
From a label or from
I would
independently?
say independent first.
So independently, you have to have a really good relationship with the artist you're working with.
Yeah.
A really good relationship with the artist and a really good relationship with the producers the records that because prior to that, like before I went to a building, I always had a bunch of beat packs on me from different producers so because I work with so many producers, I was able to walk into the studio and add value. Gotcha. If an artist is sitting there and they're trying to find beats, nigga, I got 3,000 right now. What type? What BPM? What you looking for? Wow. So I think like being able to add value in some capacity, but also understanding like what's a realistic expectation, like right? Because if you go to artist John D, who literally is barely getting any streams, who is working 4 jobs just to get paid for studio time, do you really think that person's gonna be able to pay you $3,000, $4,000? Wow. It's like, no, create a realistic expectation. It's like, okay, if we get a placement and something blows up, I get a percentage of it.
That's good.
Give me a percentage of the publishing. Yeah. Because now it's like, okay, you're not losing. If you give me 10% of nothing, all right. But if there's 10% of a possibility or something, it's like, all right, cool. I'm willing to work in this space. Or now you're talking about going and working with an established artist that's independent. Yeah. It's like, all right, bro, is there a same thing? It's like, all right, bro, what is my percentage based on? Like you probably not gonna get as an A&R independent, you're not gonna get paid up front. But you can set up ways where you can get paid from publishing, and now you go create a LLC and you put your publishing through Ask a BMI, and now you can get royalty checks. So it's like there's different ways to do it, but you just have to be strategic with how you run your business.
A whole lot of nuance to that.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of nuances, and it's a whole lot of like that's why I say learning the business. It's a whole lot of that, but it's like it's also like how much faith do you have in that person that you're working with? Because I ain't gonna tell you to show up to like I did it. I showed up every day for 7 years for an artist. Wow. And didn't get paid $1.
7 years.
7 years, but it taught me so much. Like I learned so much from it. So it's like at my expense might be different than your expense, but my experience is a lot different. And it's like, what do you want? What do you expect to take from it? Because I know people all the time that they're like, oh, I'm gonna go get a job to do this, or I'm gonna go get a job to be an A&R. And it's like, all right, I'm telling you, you're not gonna make a lot doing it. You got to have the passion for it, and you got to have side hustles to really leverage it until you actually get a real position. And it's like, how much do you want it?
Wow, that's good game. So approaching a label as a young A&R, how do you go about approaching that type of situation as well?
Get in the building first.
Get in the building first.
Get in the building. That's what I say. Learn admin, dog. Yeah. Easy way to get into a building is knowing admin. If you know admin, you can get in the building.
That's all you need first.
Yes. Now you can play. Now you can show them your value from an A&R standpoint, because now you can present stuff in A&R meetings. You can come to an A&R meeting and say, "Hey, you guys, like, mind you, don't just jump ahead of the ranks." Yeah. But you like, "Hey, you guys, I got this artist that you guys should check out, and if it's dope, you keep doing. You do that 2-3 times. They're like, people are paying attention.
Start
they're
to
like,
notice.
Yeah, they're like, okay, we see what you're doing. Cool." And people are gonna start reaching out to you to get that. And now from there, you start building. You have to build your reputation inside. Like your outside reputation doesn't matter in a building. Because the reality is everybody's in the building for a reason.
That's right.
At some capacity.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say everybody.
Listen, I feel you.
But at some capacity. But then it's like, does your outside reputation supersede your inside reputation? Right? And the hardest part for most people when they get inside these buildings is making sure that one can supersede the other.
Yeah.
And like for me, like I'm not trying to be cocky or nothing, but my outside reputation is just as good as my inside reputation.
If not better.
If not better.
Yeah.
So it's like that comes from actually doing the work. So I think every young A&R has to do the work.
I feel that. Reputations, right, man, that's so important. Like especially now during this whole cancel culture, how people know you, think of you, all those things. How important is that, man, in this music industry in 2024 right now, Karen? Man,
you just gotta. The world is so messed up, man.
Yeah.
You gotta like just be smart. Like there's situations where you know like I shouldn't be doing this. Yeah. So it's like if you know you shouldn't be doing it, how would you like do it? Are you gonna do it? It's like nah. So like me in particular, I think differently because I have a daughter. So like there's certain things that I definitely would never do. Because I'm like, if you ever did this to my daughter, like
somebody's gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 6 feet under for you.
Yeah.
So it's like I approach all these situations with the same respect and the same regard. So it's like don't do shit like even when it comes to like just it's such a touchy subject. But even when it comes to like
you ain't even gotta say
going to work events, like just be cool.
Yeah.
Like don't go get shitty drunk. Like don't if that's not who you are, like
it's
don't
always somebody watching.
Yeah. And even then it's like you're not if I go get drunk, I have a different relationship with everybody else that you have.
I feel what you're saying, yeah.
So it's like, don't do it because you saw me do it.
It's like, because they know me.
And it's like, dog, I know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, this is not my first rodeo. Yeah. This might be your first rodeo. You decide that you want to go jump off the balcony because you drunk. They're like, he's a goddamn liability.
Wow.
So it's like, just be smart and be cool. Like, that's all I can tell you. Like, that shit, because it gets touchy.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. Having a daughter, how did that whole experience change who you were as a young man?
My drive changed.
Yeah.
Like my why changed. Yeah. So I'm reading Start With Why right now, right?
Yeah.
So my why will always now be her. But it's like, why am I doing it for her now? So my why is her. Yeah. But my why also increases to why do I do it for her? And it's like, I've seen generational wealth. Right. I haven't experienced it, but I want to create that for her. I want it to be where she has the freedom to go and do, and literally this world's her oyster. Find lay out your own path. If you decide you want to take what's it called? What's the year between the gap year? Yeah. You want to take a gap year to just explore the world. Baby, go do it.
Kids should though, honestly.
If you want to go do art, if you want to decide you want to wake up and you want to paint every single day, okay. Try it. Yeah. But it's like, if you decide you want to sing opera, try it. So like, I want to be able to create those opportunities for her.
Experiences.
So I think for me, it just changed my drive changed, my passion changed, and just my know-all of like, yo, I gotta really like dive in. Like before, if you thought I was serious, now I'm really serious.
Come on.
And it's like, I'm doing this for like, I have a mission and a purpose.
Yeah. I respect that, man. You know, hearing you on previous shows talk about a retirement plan, things of that sort, seeing you making some plays before we get started. Why is thinking in the future so important? Because, man, you know, most young dudes in Atlanta, especially young and black, they fly killing it. They ain't even worried about tomorrow.
Man,
so
if I didn't have a daughter,
worried about tomorrow?
If I didn't have my daughter, I was definitely at the lot about to buy a C8. I was buying a vet. I was like, literally, I'm about to go buy the C8. I'm about to buy my loft.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to live the real bachelor lifestyle.
I feel you.
But like, the reality is like, do I really need all that?
No.
And that changed my mindset to like, okay, I know that now I have to. I met Jeff Bezos, right?
Wow.
So, right, you meet at the time, he was the richest man in the world.
Wow.
And, you know, the only thing that separated us?
What was that?
Is the fact he's Jeff Bezos and I'm
that's it. Yeah.
We were in the same room.
Wow.
Doing the same thing.
Breathing the
talking
same
to the same people.
Yeah.
So, like, I realized there's no difference. Except that, you mean, he's a white man.
Yeah.
He's a white man. But I say that to say, like, literally, there was nothing that separated us.
Yeah, for sure.
I met Jay-Z. I've met really influential, really, really rich, powerful people, right? Robert Kraft, met these people. And there's nothing that separates us. The only thing that separates us is the mentality and the mindset that we go into approaching something and being consistent in what we're doing, right? And for me, I was like, yo, like, there was a switch that went off to say, yo, you can do, like, if you can get into these rooms, there's no reason why you can't be in these rooms and have leverage and also have power in these rooms, right? So how do you create that? What are your end routes to creating that? So I've been like literally sitting back and focusing on how do I create these inroads? And mind you, it comes from, and it goes down to what is my why, but it also goes down to why am I doing what I'm doing?
That's right.
When I leave this earth, my greatest impact I want to change the lives of people.
That's right.
So in changing the lives of people, how am I going to do that?
Right.
It's creating infrastructure.
Yep.
That's creating, like, going to Africa, like I told you. I sat there and I seen it. I'm like, yo, I can help create infrastructure here. I can actually be a actual moving force of creating infrastructure for people to actually make money off their artistic ability.
Wow.
That, mind you, this is not something that's new. Nobody ever gave a fuck about doing it. So now that I actually give a fuck and I put my mind to it and be consistent with it, I can actually create the infrastructure. And in the creation of infrastructure, you can build generational wealth. You can build things that are like just unfathomable.
Yeah.
So like that's the space I've been in, and that's where like how I move and I operate the way I am, because I'm like, yo, I've seen the promised land and I know how I like. It's like it's hard to explain until you get in that. It's like you get tunnel vision. Yeah. And once you get tunnel vision, you're like, okay, I know none of this bullshit outside is gonna affect how I get this mission done.
Come on, bro. So I'll say this then, or ask this rather. Where do you see the future landscape of music in the quote unquote culture, if you will, right now?
I think it's changing. Like even when it comes to streaming, everything is changing so drastically. Like, curated playlists. Like Spotify just put out a article talking about curated playlists. The streams on curated playlists is down 30 to 60%. Oh wow! Or the revenue from it is down 30 to 60%. Wow! And before, if you got on certain playlists, you could literally make a couple $100,000 from being on that playlist. Wow! Now that's just becoming an afterthought. It's becoming just a post for your social media. Wow. So I think as we're moving forward in the business, it's becoming more like, and this is two parts to this, right? So I was having a conversation yesterday where I spoke to my homie. He's like, yo, Africa's already decentralized. In the Western world, we're trying to get to a decentralized place. But that space is already decentralized. And it's like, how do you reverse engineer something that's already decentralized? You create certain infrastructures that can help centralize certain aspects of it that can change. It's
a very deep conversation.
Yeah. So like, I think now where the music business is right now, we are like, everybody who's like trying to figure out how they can get on Rap Caviar, how like you're 5-10 years behind. We're no longer thinking about how to get on playlists. We're thinking about how to make our music a world music. Yeah. How do we cross the revenue? How do we make the revenue? Because even now, like you think about streaming, it would take to make 100,000 streams in America is totally different than 100,000 streams in Africa. Like because of the conversion rate. Yeah. So it's like, how do we now get that into a place where it's on a centralized format where it doesn't matter if I have 100,000 people listen to it, it's 100,000 people. It doesn't matter what currency you have. So like that's the space where I'm thinking and where I am. So like I think like everybody who's in that space of trying to figure out how do we fix a system that's broken here? Like you're lost. You're losing because there's other markets that are thriving that are Brazil. Yeah. Anywhere in South America, Chile, Peru, Argentina. Shit, South Korea. There's these markets that are fucking thriving. Yeah. And you're getting left behind because you're worried about what's going on here. And the reality is Spotify's not based here. It's Norwegian.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Yeah, that's true. That's crazy.
So these companies don't give a damn.
Wow. And we over here stressing about the wrong things.
We stressing about the wrong things.
Man, that's heavy. So, man, hearing certain people say R&B is dead, I'll be like, yo, that's not true.
It's cap.
Can you please explain why R&B is not dead from somebody that's actually killing it in this game right now?
So when people say R&B is dead, it's almost like the old head saying it's the LeBron James and Kobe argument, right? It's like the R&B that you like listening to is not prevalent. But it's like, okay, it actually is happening. You just don't know where to go find it.
Because they don't know how to, that all the time.
They don't know how to market themselves.
Wow.
Right? That's so good. You got to think. There's 175,000 records uploaded daily, right? To Spotify alone.
So there's no way that
there's no way good
music, good R&B.
Yeah. So it's like, but the reality is through that 175,000, you still have algorithms that you're battling against. Correct. You have all these different things you're battling against. Correct. And you don't know how to go, like the average person doesn't know how to properly use Google. So I know damn well you don't know how to properly use Spotify.
Wow.
I know damn well you don't know how to properly go and find the playlist you're looking for.
You don't even know how to find it.
You don't know how to do it.
What to look for, correct.
So like
Correct.
R&B's not dead. What you're looking for is not searchable. Like you don't know how to find it.
Wow.
So I think we're in a space now where I'm literally working with an artist right now, Gimba, who's he's an Afro R&B artist.
Wow, that's hard.
Like he's fire. Like he literally
hard.
does like he's influences of jazz, influences of Fuji music, and like there's so many different influences of it. But he's pure through and through R&B.
That's what's up.
WizKid, pure and pure pure and through R&B.
Yeah.
But it's like people are saying it's dead in the format that they like listening to it. So it's like it's gonna always go back to the Kobe LeBron. It's like, oh no, Kobe's this because he's this, or Jordan's this because he played in this. It's like, no, you liked it because of this.
Yeah.
This person liked it because of that.
Yes.
And just like
appreciate greatness.
Appreciate greatness.
Yes.
Appreciate.
Yes,
so no, R&B's not dead. R&B's not dead. 2G at Def Jam's killing right now. Coco Jones is going crazy. It's a few people that are going crazy. Lucky Day still going crazy.
Yeah.
Her going crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like, what style of R&B do you want? I'm 4 Bats, the new kid on the block, going crazy.
I just sent him to you too early. Yeah,
going crazy.
Yo, I'm like, bro, this can't be his voice, man.
But that's his voice.
Ain't that crazy?
That's his voice.
Yo, that's wild, man. So, JuJu, how about this, man? Old heads, right? So, with Brian, Ray Daniels, love Ray Daniels, everything he's doing. But yo, you were wilding with them Brian takes. JuJu, I appreciate you, man, for always just trying to speak logic and sense over there on the GAUD show. So, in music, right? Being only what, 31?
32.
32.
I just turned 32 last week.
Hey, okay. Capricorn?
Yes, sir.
Same for me, bro.
Happy belated.
Yeah. Hey, I just turned, 27 last week.
Happy
So,
birthday.
Man, that's crazy.
Happy birthday.
Man, I appreciate you, brother. So, have you ever faced that same, like, old head, like, animosity, if you will, right? Of, oh, he's the young guy, but then you're in charge. And sometimes telling people what to do or game plans and strategies who could be 20 plus years older. So, have you ever faced some of that friction?
I mean, I face it every day. I think the thing is, and it's sad as hell because you only face it with your own people, right? And you only face it like, when I say you only face it with your own people, we get to a space where it's like you think that your way is the only way for something to work.
True.
Or not even necessarily thinking your own way is the only way to work. You think that is how you have to do it. Yeah. Mind you, I just told you how the business is changing. Like the same old head that's getting mad at me doesn't understand streaming. Or doesn't understand what a digital marketer actually does.
I know that has to be frustrating.
It's hella frustrating. But it's also too like, it's almost like you would argue with your uncle, your grandmother. You argue with your grandpa. You be like, yeah, pops, you got it. Yeah. And you just look at him crazy in the face, like, you got it.
Yeah.
But
he's stuck in his ways.
Like, I got you. Yeah. And you just gonna keep moving and operating how you are. Yeah. So like now, those arguments, like I don't even like enjoying those arguments. Like me and Ray got into a whole ass argument about the system, right? Wow. And I'm like, bro, like, the system only has relevance if you give the system relevance. Yeah.
That's why it's the system in the first place. Yeah.
So like when you say a system, it's like, he's like, oh, well, if I wasn't providing these opportunities, then the system is saying, fuck you. I'm like, no, you didn't use the third door. And that's why I say like,
back to the third door.
Yeah. Like literally, like even though there's a system that was put in place, there's a system put in place for most things that are done. The reality is there's always a way around the system. So you don't have to operate within the system. You can always figure out a way to operate outside of it at your own capacity. But it's going to take, it's more risk. There's probably a greater reward. Yeah. And there's more opposition. And most people don't even want to face any of those three things. So they're like, oh, the system's doing this. It's like, no, my nigga. Like literally, you talking about the system. I'm literally the director at a tech company, a music tech company with no degree.
As a young black man.
As a black man.
Before 35.
Before 35.
That's crazy.
So you talk about a system?
Bro. Yeah.
That's not a system. That's me understanding like, no, I have a different lane, a different journey, and I'm taking a different approach. So it's like, that's why I look at it. I'm like, yes, I'm not going to say there's no system because there is powers that be that try to go against you. But the reality is that if you don't give it power, then there's no system to even pay attention to. Like at that point, it's just like, all right, you're just using it as another excuse for you not to get to where you want to go. And for me, I just told you at the beginning, like I can't afford excuses. My daughter's like, her daycare got to get paid every month. Wow. She still got to eat. Wow. She still got to go to the doctor's office. Wow. I have no room for her to use any excuse of saying why I couldn't get something done. I just got to do it. Yeah. So like I can't afford to be like, oh, the system didn't allow me to do it. No, man, fuck that. I'm building the system. Wow. I'm building a new system. I'm building what the system looks like. Come on, bro. Because like somebody had to build the system initially, right? Yeah. Okay, so now we kick the fucking door in.
How come it can't be done again?
And we rebuild it. So yeah, like I said, we got to the whole argument, and it's like I don't like sometimes like some arguments I don't even like.
It ain't even worth
it. Ain't worth the energy because it's like you be like, bro, like you could be preaching to the choir.
Come on. Yo, Juju, man, you bodied this entire conversation. I probably just got like 2 more questions for you. Great conversation with you. Disrupting things, right? That's not an easy task. What do you think drives that? Because average person, man, they'll just try to always take that easier road, easier path, not knowing, hey, it's going to be riskier. It's going to be harder. But at the end of the day, for it tough, like what you said, I'm going to be built for it. What drives that for you? Because the average dude, they ain't trying to go through none of that, man.
And this is part, I guess this might be the most unhumble thing I said all day.
Hey, talk your talk.
Right?
Good.
I want to be in a history book in some capacity, right?
You're not trying to be normal. Not trying to be average.
And it's like, how do you get into a history book? By changing history.
You have to be abnormal.
Yeah. So like my approach and like when it comes to disruption, I know that the what I'm taking up against, what I'm going against in Africa is bigger than me. Wow. I know that there's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be a lot of friction. There's gonna be a lot of opposition to what I'm trying to do. Right. However, I know too that if I get a fraction of what we want to do accomplished, then I can change the life of at least 1 million people. And then from that 1 million people, I can change the life of 10 million people. Mind you, 10 million people to 2 billion. It's not doesn't sound crazy, but I've actually impacted
a very significant amount.
How many people can say they changed lives of 10 million people?
That's right.
So like my approach, like I have to break it down to like a small victory. Yeah. And mind you, 10 million is my that's the small side. That's the small scale of what I want to do. I want to change the whole continent, but in order to do that, you have to like literally I got to apply these small victories first, brick by brick. That's right. So in some capacity, like I want to go down in history book, like yo, this nigga tried. This nigga tried.
He did.
Even if my name is just in an appendix.
Hey, what most people wouldn't.
I made the fucking book.
That's right.
And I just want to make the book.
I love that, bro. I love that, man. Juju, where do you see yourself? I would say future business endeavors, branding, relationships, all that good stuff within the next 5 to 10 years, if you had to guess.
5 to 10 years. Bro, I don't. My vision scare me. So like, it's hard to even.
It should scare you.
Yeah, no, like, my vision scare me. So like, next 5 to 10 years, like I just think it's going to be like a very like. I'll probably be sitting in a room with the heads. I'll be sitting at the UN, and literally explaining like, yo, like this is what we're doing to impact and change. This is what we did to impact West Africa. This is what we did to impact East Africa. This is how I built the bridge to help people. Like I want to be able to be the liaison for people actually getting visas to get back here. So like, because the same way we want to get there, they want to experience the world. Yeah. So it's like how to like even if I have to do it through entertainment. So whether it's television, music,
it's a tool for that in a vehicle.
I want to be able to create that like that pipeline and say, okay, you can get your visa. It's not a tedious process for you to get your visa to come see New York, to come see Atlanta, to come like I want to be like, and I feel like just that alone is enough. Like in the next 2-3 years to be like, yo, you've changed the lives of you don't even understand the pipeline you open.
Ambassador Juju at that point.
Yeah, so like literally like. I don't know. Yeah. I don't necessarily want to do politics.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
But I feel like I'm gonna inadvertently be involved. In some capacity. Definitely still working in music. At what capacity? Might be the head of somewhere. Might like it's
playing golf and just chilling too at the same time.
Definitely playing golf.
Mailbox money.
Yeah, man. Like so. Yeah. Nah, just it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot,
bro. I respect it, man. So, how about this, man? How did it feel from having to call your baby sister for a couple dollars to now being good? Like, how does that feel now? And have you ever like broke her off a little bit? Yeah, moms, all that.
Yeah, I give them like I take care of them all the time.
Went from that to that.
Yeah,
went from he dropped out of Morehouse to here you go.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It feels good. I don't think I'm anywhere close to where I want to go. So, but
that's scary to say too.
Yeah,
that's amazing to say.
But it feels good to know that you can pay your bills.
Yeah,
it feels good to know that you can
auto pay, huh?
Yeah, like my daughter's in private school at 2.
That's amazing.
So it's like those things feel good, but like there's more. I want more.
That's right.
I want more. I know there's more, and now it's just a matter of like not being content. Like, what's the next level?
Yeah.
Like I look at all this, it's like, okay, you've reached this level.
What's next?
You've mastered it.
Yeah.
What's this next level?
Mm.
And to continue to take that approach.
Yeah. Hearing you speak, how are you comfortable with being uncomfortable? Because being great, you constantly have to do uncomfortable things, right? Brian being the GOAT. Y'all said it. Brian being the GOAT. Kobe, Mike constantly had to do rigorous things and things of waking up earlier, seeing Kobe being in the gym super early, seeing Brian pull up during the playoffs at 12 p.m. How do you try to make yourself be comfortable being uncomfortable?
I find comfort in knowing that I can do more, that I haven't pushed myself to the limit, and being uncomfortable. Like, bro, like I told you, the most, like, I haven't even got to the most uncomfortable I've ever been.
Wow.
Like, you don't understand, like, having $20 for the month and I gotta go. I buy a gym membership to go take a shower. Like, that's uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable when you got to be like, oh, I got to pull up early so nobody see me here taking a shower. That's uncomfortable.
And you still like, going out there smiling,
and still going out smiling,
networking.
like, yeah, and still like, but nobody understood. Like, it's not, it's not for me to like go and make an excuse or making a complaint of, oh, I can't do this, because nobody gives a fuck. Reality, nobody gives a fuck. You gotta, like, you either gonna build up or you gonna fall. So, like, when you talk about being comfortable and being uncomfortable, like, shit, if this is being uncomfortable, then damn, I hate to see what being comfortable in this position looks like, because I'm never comfortable. Wow. Like, because once I seen those places you can go, the things you can do, yeah, I'm like, bro, like, you can always leave me uncomfortable. I'm gonna figure out how to get more and more. And mind you, there's gonna be a point in time where I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm comfortable, I'm happy, I'm content with. Mind you, I'm happy right now. I'm content. I'm not content. I'm happy.
That's right.
There's gonna be a point in time where I'm like, yo, I'm content, and I want to just like enjoy the life, the fruits of my labor. But I don't think I'm anywhere close to that point yet. Yeah. And I say that because, like I said, I've seen generational wealth from my peers, right, but I've never experienced that. So like, until I'm able to say like, yo, like, I can sit back and say, okay, my grandkids gonna be cool. Dang. I'm not gonna be comfortable. Oh, wow. I'm not.
Come on, bro. JuJu, man, I appreciate you greatly. Just found out you a fellow Capricorn. It all makes sense. Hey, I'm rocking with you, bro. On the way out, man, where can everybody follow you, keep up with all your work, contact you, stay in touch, all that good stuff as well?
Follow me at JuJu _McLean. Yeah. My Twitter won't let me change it, so it's JuJu _ANR. Okay. And yeah. Yeah. Y'all check out United Masters. Yeah. We doing a lot of cool things. Yes, sir. My email is juju@unitedmasters.com.
Hey, please don't send them no trash either, bro. Please.
I mean, you gonna send it to me. I'm gonna just be like, damn, bro, I gotta tell you the truth. I gotta tell you the truth. Yeah, I'm a truth teller when it comes to music. I tell you the truth. Be.
Time is money, bro. All right, how about this, bro? Very last question. I promise. Who would you like to see on the pod next, man? And then I'll make sure to contact them and have them on the show. They could be any person that you think of who you like. Friend, colleague, anybody.
I think you should talk to Rachel Jackson.
Okay. Who's that?
Rachel Jackson she's over YouTube. She's one of the, let me get Rachel's title correct. She's like one of the highest ranking Black women at YouTube music. But she also is artist relations. So Rachel, the head of artist relations? I believe so. Okay. But she has a very interesting story. She came from Clark, Atlanta.
Nice. Okay.
And she's killing it. Like, she can call Leor, put it that way. Wow. She can call Leor.
Need some dope Black women on the pod.
But yeah, I think Rachel Jackson or Amber Grimes would be really good too. Okay. Definitely talk to a dope Black woman. We got some really dope Black women from Atlanta. That's killing shit.
I got some homework now, so bro, I appreciate you greatly, man. JuJu, thank you, bro. Stay on your path. So many gems, super humble. But bro, you are a living young legend, man.
Thank you, bro.
So, bro, I appreciate you, man. The best is yet to come. We'll be seeing you with Hove, B, all that good stuff, man. We already know that, man. And look, next time when you see Fab, just walk the other way.
Bro, I see them a couple times since then. Every time I see him, I just
be never been the same.
I literally just be like, damn, bro. You stole my girl, didn't even know it. Didn't even know it.
Hey, bro, but look, that's the last time. It ain't going to happen again.
Ain't going to happen again.
Man, thank you again. Greatly,
thank you
bro.
for having
2024, it's going to be amazing for you. So, it's just the beginning. Y'all, blessed be your host, Caleb Smith, man. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time.